Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and a nice one out there today. We did get rid of that windy conditions that we had the last couple of days. Today, not bad at all, just light winds and lots of sunshine. As we take a look at the Orondo area from our Waterville Sky-Fi Tower camera, and you can see all the blue skies out there and a bug that just flew by, but you can also see where the Desert Canyon fire has left sort of a burn scar on that hillside. That Desert Canyon fire is still burning just outside of Orondo, north of town, and we will talk about that coming up in news a little bit later on. Also, as far as weather goes, expect more of the same. We're going to see mostly clear skies and dry conditions beginning tomorrow and lasting right through the weekend. Look at that, highs in the 80s and even the 90s for the weekend. Tomorrow is going to be a hot one, lots of sunshine, maybe even some record high temperatures for Friday, and we will talk much more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Grant County Fire District 13 assisted the Ephrata City firefighters at a major commercial structure fire Tuesday night. Northwest cherry growers will receive a federal subsidy to help them recover losses associated with the ongoing U.S.-China trade dispute. And the state will spend about $2.2 million in Okanogan County and almost $1 million in Chelan County on removal of fish passage barriers. But first, we begin tonight. The Desert Canyon fire burning north of Orondo is at 1,000 acres. State mobilization has been enacted with a Type 3 incident management team overseeing the effort. A base camp and command post has been set up at Orondo School. Around 100 firefighters from the Department of Natural Resources, the Bureau of Land Management, the United States Forest Service, and Douglas County have been battling the blaze, which began Tuesday night. Level 3 evacuations are in effect for 2 homes on Browns Canyon Road, and Level 1 evacuations were given to approximately 12 homes that's behind Oval Fruit. Some local farmers also assisted in the operation by plowing under several rows of standing wheat to create a fire break at the plateau. In addition, local irrigation ponds close to the fire were made available to crews to make water bucket dips to fight the fire. Douglas County Sheriff Kevin Morris says we're now in the teeth of the summer wildfire season and asked that all area residents obey posted signs and think safety.
It would help us tremendously if folks would slow down in the area, avoid the area if they don't have to be here. We're going to put out pictures as best we can, so don't try to go find the fire and take a look at it yourself. Do us all a favor and make sure we don't have any other incidents such as accidents or injured people just by trying to see what's happening.
Are your Marine Patrol guys going to be out on the water today? Because there are going to be helicopters out there dipping out of the river.
Right, we're prepared to do that. They have not requested our Marine Patrol during their dipping yet. If we have a lot of boats on the water creating an issue, I'm sure they're going to request and we will be out there. Brings up another good point. If you don't need to be on the water today in this area, do us a favor and stay off the water today because we will be having aircraft in the area dipping out of the river.
I know that you have initiated some evacuation advisories, level 1 and level 3s for the Desert Canyon fire. Maybe this would be a good time as a primer to maybe refresh our viewers on the levels of evacuation and what they should be preparing for right now.
Right, and as a reminder, level 1 is basically get ready. Level 2 is get set, and level 3 is a go. The simplest way to remember that. So when we give a level 1 notice, we're telling you there is a fire in the area, that you are not an immediate threat right now, but we need you to start getting your affairs in order, start thinking about animals, your pets, anything that you need to get out of there to get it ready. 2 is kind of like load it up and be ready to go in a split second, because 3 means we need you to go right now. That's what those levels mean.
Meanwhile, Grant County Fire District 13 assisted the Ephrata City firefighters at a major commercial structure fire Tuesday night. The fire destroyed a large warehouse at the Barry Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership. Officials say in a Facebook post that crews arrived during the overnight hours to find the large storage building at the northeast corner of the property fully involved. Firefighters spent about 3 hours working on the fire and returned Wednesday morning to work on a hot spot. City fire officials are reportedly working with the National National Weather Service to determine if lightning may have been the cause, and the fire is still under investigation. Northwest cherry growers will receive a federal subsidy to help them recover losses associated with the ongoing U.S.-China trade dispute. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has announced a $16 billion package aimed at supporting American agricultural producers affected by retaliatory tariffs by China. House Representative Dan Newhouse and Senator Maria Cantwell secured the funding through the Market Facilitation Program, which provides direct payments and financial relief to producers.
Cherries have been kind of on the tip of the spear of this whole thing. When the tariffs were first instituted, we were just going into cherry season last year, and so this is actually the second season that they've had to endure the challenges with the trade conflicts that we have. So I'm happy that the administration has listened to us and has continued to provide some of this needed support to keep fruit growers in our region at least try as hard as we can to keep them whole as we work through these trade challenges.
Payments will be provided to sweet cherry producers at a rate of 17 cents per pound. For producers who applied in 2018, the payment limit will be $125,000. For those who applied in 2019, the payment limit will be $250,000. Senator Cantwell called the payments, quote, a big win for Washington State cherry growers. She added, while the priority remains an end to trade disputes, it's critical that our growers get access to this assistance while harmful tariffs remain in place. Well, the state will spend about $2.2 million in Okanagan County and almost $1 million in Chelan County on removal of fish passage barriers. The money is part of a $25 million in grants from the Brian Abbott Fish Burial Removal Board. The grants will fund 50 projects in 20 counties to remove stream barriers that block salmon and steelhead from swimming upstream to their spawning areas. Those barriers include culverts, many of which are too high, too steep, or too small for fish as they carry streams under roads. In Chelan County, there are 2 culverts being targeted, one on Chumpstick Creek and 2 more on Mill and Peshastin Creeks. Coming up next, Grant County voters will be asked to approve a sales tax increase to, among other things, to pay for a new jail. And an effort to force a public vote on affirmative action in Washington State appears to have been successful. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
I told Mr. Nielsen about Simon. He's the best doctor because I like the medicines like he gives me.
He asks more questions, and that's why I feel like he's more interested in the health. For me, it means a lot. That means he really cares about him.
I like you, Simon, and you're my best friend.
Welcome back. In another news, residents of Chelan County gathered at the Confluence Technology Center last night for a public hearing regarding short-term vacation rentals in the county. Here with more details from that meeting is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
Around 150 residents from Chelan County gathered last night at the Confluence Technology Center for a public hearing regarding code development for the management of short-term vacation rentals. Citizens both in favor and against short-term rentals came to give their 2-minute public comments either in support or opposition of ZTA 19004, a resolution that would add amendments to Title 11 zoning laws to address short-term rentals. Along with amendments to zoning laws, amendments to Chapter 1498 would be added to amend definitions for clarification and consistency in short-term rentals throughout Chelan County. The Planning Commission was asked to review, consider, and make a recommendation to the Board of Chelan County Commissioners to approve, deny, or approve in part adoption of the proposed zoning code and definition amendments relating to short-term rentals. The proposed amendments would address the short-term vacation rentals within Chelan County and will further address complaints received from the county in regards to the impact of short-term rentals on neighborhoods. Many of the complaints stemming from those in support of the amendment stated that too many guests, lazy owners, and the lack of actual neighbors have led them to support enforcing standards on short-term rentals. The lead opposition against ZTA 19004 was the Short-Term Rental Alliance of Chelan County, a group of short-term rental owners who claim they have done nothing wrong by renting out their homes as an effective way to make extra income. No decision was reached Thursday evening on the amendments, and the discussion will continue at next month's Planning Commission meeting where the public will still be allowed to give their comments. With NCWLIFE News, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Grant County voters will be asked in November to approve a sales tax increase to pay for a new jail and help increase city and county law enforcement resources. Sheriff Tom Jones told Moses Lake City Council members earlier this week that he was seeking a 0.3% increase in the sales tax. The money would be used to build a new jail at an estimated cost of up to $60 million. Jones says 40% of the funds generated would be distributed among the 14 cities within Grant County for their law and justice needs. If passed, the new tax would generate about $5.5 million to $6 million per year. Well, an effort to force a public vote on affirmative action in Washington state appears to have been successful. Referendum 88 would overturn Initiative 1000 approved by the legislature this year that would have reinstated affirmative action policies in state hiring. Supporters of Referendum 88 turned in about 177,000 signatures on Wednesday and say they have about 20,000 more to turn in before Saturday's deadline. They need just under 130,000 valid signatures to force the issue onto the ballot. Affirmative action has been illegal in the state since 1998 when voters approved Initiative 200. Governor Jay Inslee said Wednesday that state agencies have already begun preparations to implement Initiative 1000, but will wait until the signature count is verified before taking any additional action. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Hi everyone, this is Brent Crowder. After 13 years with the Town Auto Group, I have returned home to Town Toyota where it all started. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, let me help you find the right one at the right price. Toyota is reliable and trustworthy, and you can count on me to be the same. When it comes to buying your next car, you can't go wrong with Toyota and Crowder. Ask for Brent at Town Toyota or call me now at 888-5000.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Raider the cat.
guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We're here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and joining us this week is Radar the cat.
Yeah, so Radar came to us as a stray. He was actually picked up by animal care and control and hit by a car. So he had a broken back leg, so he went to foster care while he healed up, and it is definitely not keeping him down. He's healed completely. Right now his kennel has a little lock on it because he must have been a cat burglar in his previous life, because he does know how to open the doors. So we've had to put a little carabiner on, but he is a sweet, sweet boy.
Yeah.
Like he just, I mean, you've heard him, he's purring when we're just standing here, and he's a great boy who's looking for a home.
And what kind of home is he looking for?
He's a really outgoing guy, so I think he'll probably do well in almost any circumstances.
And if someone's interested in adopting him, what should they do?
They can just come down to the shelter, go into one of our get acquainted rooms, make sure he's the right cat for them, and then he is fixed and ready to go. So he's vaccinated, microchipped, and altered.
And how are you guys doing on space here?
So we're really full. It's raining cats and dogs, so to speak. So right now with our kittens, it's adopt one, get a second at half the adoption fee. Dogs 6 months and older are 50% off adoption fees right now, and bunnies are also 50% off adoption fees. So it's a great time to add a furry friend to your family.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
And my apologies to Radar the cat. I said Raider, and it's Radar. So let's get that straight right now. Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to those details, let's take a look outside our weather window. And once again, this is the burn scar that was left by the Desert Canyon fire that we told you about a little while ago. It's a 1,000-acre fire right now, and you can see it's burned a lot of the hillsides just north of Orondo, and you can sure see it when you're driving on Highway 97. There's a fire going on, and be very, very careful, especially if you're traveling in that area. Also, boats on the waterways around the Columbia River, be careful because they will be dipping into the waterways to try and put out that fire. But as far as our weather goes today, lots of blue sky all over north central Washington. A few fair weather clouds floated around the area today, but temperatures were on the mild side. Unofficial high temperature in the Wenatchee area today was about where we should be for this time of year, 88 degrees. 89 is our normal high for this time of year. We started off a little chilly this morning with those clear skies as the cold front moved through. 55 degrees as we got our Thursday started. 63 is where we should be. Record high on this date, 1998. It was 102 degrees. Record cold overnight low, 52 degrees, set back in 1966. No new precipitation the past 24 hours. Our sunrise is now at 5:30 and the sun will set at 8:44. Let's check on your Friday temperatures and see how our work week will end tomorrow. Look out for a heat wave, and it's beginning today, and it will even intensify a little bit more tomorrow. Look at some of these temperatures. 97 in Moses Lake, 96 in Ephrata. We will see 95 degrees for our high temperature, most likely in Wenatchee tomorrow. Even a hot one up in Leavenworth at 92. If you feel like some cooler weather, how about Lake Wenatchee at 83 degrees, and also a hot one once again for you folks up in Omak. High temperature tomorrow with sunny skies and lighter winds right around 95 degrees. Let's put that surface loop in motion now. Clear skies throughout almost all of the Intermountain West, all the way back into North Dakota. Here at home, light northwest breezes tonight. It will be warmer than that 55 this morning. I'm thinking about 61 or 62 as we move into the end of our work week on Friday. It's going to be a hot one out there, folks. Also breezy late in the day, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. But notice that color. That's about 95 degree range for most of central and eastern Washington. It will be a hot one. Still going to be fairly warm on Saturday too, but we're going to cool down. We're going to see another quick hitting cold front slide through the state, and that will kick up our winds too, especially in the afternoon on Saturday, maybe 15 to 25 miles an hour and gusty. And as I mentioned, much, much cooler for Saturday, but we rebound in our weather picture for Sunday. Sunny, light winds and warmer. Once again, just really clear skies all throughout Washington, Oregon, and most of the West. And then we're back to that sunny and hot weather on Monday with temperatures once again right around the 90-degree mark. But once again, keep in mind, 89 is our normal high for this time of year. Tuesday, sunny, normal late July temperatures with once again highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s. Boy, just warm all throughout the western United States. We'll all see 80 to 90 to 100 degrees. And on Wednesday, midweek next week, sunshine and still very, very warm. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast. Tonight we'll drop down to 62 for an overnight low. Tomorrow, one of the warmest days that we've seen so far this year at 95 degrees, 66 the overnight low on Friday. As we kick it into gear for our weekend, some might think just perfect. 86 on Saturday, but breezy, especially late in the day for Saturday, all the way up to 89 on Sunday. And a nice start to our next work week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll see high temperatures in the lower 90s with lows in the lower 60s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Today was the first day of training camp for the Seattle Seahawks at the VMAC in Renton. Following practice, Coach Pete Carroll spoke with reporters. And, of course, the first question centered on the NFL suspension of Jaron Reed.
What can you tell us about Jaron's suspension?
Well, it's been a long time in the works. We respect what the league has done and their decisions that they make. Jaron's been working at this for some time now, and I appreciate the growth and the maturity and the transparency that he's brought forth in showing us that he does understand that it's a very serious issue, and I think our guys in general have shown that kind of growth and maturity, and you can just feel that he's learned from this and he's moving ahead.
Do you have any issue with the timing? I mean, just the fact that it's 2 years after the fact.
Nothing to do about it.
Were you surprised by the suspension, or did you believe it wouldn't happen?
Well, it just took such a long time. We didn't know what was going on. I mean, we could have heard much sooner than this. So we didn't know when we weren't sure.
Did you get an explanation?
No.
What are the ramifications for the defense?
It's whenever we lose somebody, it's the next guy up, and that's what this situation will call for. He'll work with us all through camp and all that. Then he'll have to leave. But in the meantime, it's a competitive opportunity for other guys that we're going to watch it unfold.
Would Jaron's suspension, impact the decisions he would have to make about his future as an organization at all, or
I feel like he's done a tremendous job of dealing with the situation, letting us know. We've known of this for a great deal of time now, and we've watched his maturity and his way of handling things. I have no hesitation in supporting him going down the road.
Now, Reed is at training camp, but will miss the first 6 games of the season after a domestic incident in April of 2017. Seahawks have 2 weeks before their first preseason game against Denver, August 8th at CenturyLink Field. Well, back locally, the Wenatchee Apple Sox got off to a rocky start to post the All-Star break in Walla Walla last night. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has more.
The Apple Sox dropped the series opener against the Walla Walla Sweets by a score of 7-4 on Wednesday night at Borleski Stadium. So it wasn't the start to the post-All-Star break schedule the Apple Sox would have liked for. They were trailing 2-0 going into the 4th inning. They scored 4 times in that frame, but could not hold on to the lead, allowing 4 runs to come across in the 7th and another one in the 8th inning. The Apple Sox will look to even up the series on Thursday when they take on the Sweets again at 6:35. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Wenatchee took the lead in that 4-run 4th inning, highlighted by an RBI double by Hunter Montgomery, RBI single by Cody Darcy, sacrifice fly for an RBI by Connor Kiefer, and bases loaded walk to Johnny Sage, but the bullpen could not hold on. Cameron Summer gave up 2 runs in the 7th, followed by Landon Schreier, surrendering 2 more runs in the 7th inning, eventually taking the loss. Johnny Sage, Blake Klassen, and Connor Kiefer each had 2 hits for the Apple Sox. Wenatchee had 10 hits in the game, but stranded 12 men on the base paths. Seth Kuykendall will get the start for Wenatchee tonight for that game at 6:35. Walla Walla did not announce their starter. Also, in the West Coast League on Wednesday, as we open up the Les Schwab scoreboard, Richie said his RBI walk-off single scored Brad Norton. Kelowna topped Yacob Valley 9-8 in 10 innings. Matt Volsky went 3 for 4 at the plate for the Falcons, driving in 2 runs. Corvallis scored 2 runs in the top of the 12th on an error by Portland shortstop, and the Knights got the 2-0 win. It was a night for pitchers, and the combined 10 hurlers for both teams struck out a total of 24 batters. Brooks Lee was 3 for 5 at the plate for Corvallis. Also, non-league play, the Northwest Star Academy scored 2 in the top of the 8th and beat Ridgefield 3-2. Raptors were held to 2 runs on 7 hits by the Academy's 3 pitchers. Alex Garcia led off the 8th with a solo home run, and Port Angeles added a couple of more insurance runs to beat the Redmond Dudes 5-2. Ethan Groff was 3 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI for the lefties. Victoria idle last night, so Wenatchee's loss dropped the Apple Sox a full game back into the Harbor Cats in the North Division standings. Wenatchee got help from Kelowna last night, downing the Pippins, so the Yacob Valley remains a game and a half back of Wenatchee. Port Angeles also at the 500 mark. Well, Seattle won the rubber match of that 3-game set with the Rangers yesterday, winning over Texas 5-2. Daniel Vogelbach led the way with 2 solo home runs off left-handed starter Mike Miner. He's only hit 2 of his 25 home runs so far this season going into the game, but cranked 2 yesterday. On the mound, Mike Leake was impressive yet again, getting the victory, going 9-8 on the season. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 9 hits with 7 strikeouts. Roenis Elias worked a perfect 9th for his 13th save. Mariners now welcome Detroit into town for the first of 4 games tonight, 7:10 start time. Drew Verhagen going for the Tigers. Mariners have not announced whom they'll start yet. Also in the American League West last night, as we open up the Les Schwab scoreboard again, George Springer and Jose Altuve each hit homers in Houston's 4-2 win over Oakland. Justin Verlander improved to 13-4 on the season, had 11 strikeouts last night. Cole Calhoun was a one-man wrecking crew for the Angels, going 3 for 4 with a home run and double and 2 RBIs as his team beat the Dodgers 3-2. Also good news for anglers and great news for the town of Brewster. Department of Fish and Wildlife has decided to open salmon fishing, the Brewster Pool, just in time for the Brewster Salmon Derby next week. Fish and Wildlife yesterday afternoon announced that the summer Chinook salmon would be open next Thursday, August 1st from the Highway 173 bridge at Brewster upstream to the Highway 17 bridge near Bridgeport. The next day is the Brewster Salmon Derby. Go to brewstersalmonderby.com for more information. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with guest host Eric Granstrom. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.